I always love her, my mother. So treat her right, treat her right.
It's Geronimo Jack's Beard coming to you from our hotel room.
In Los Angeles.
Yes.
We just,
This is Jorge. With me, as always, is Psychic 22.
hi. We just flew in today.
Yeah.
For some mother. There is no other.
Special. This is the special Mother's Day episode of Lost. You know, one of the things in doing a show like Lost is, unlike other shows, you can never really pause to do a Christmas episode or a Halloween episode. Although, I gotta say, this is definitely our Mother's Day episode.
Yep. Mother. So, a couple of notes to get to before we get into listener emails. We just posted on the blog a few days ago the new address for fan mail for Jorge. Please don't send fan mail or autograph requests any longer to the Hawaii address because we don't know if he'll get it or not. But the new address is on the blog spot, geronimojacksbeard.blogspot.com.
Yeah, don't try not to inundate them as just yet, because we're going to be getting soon
A P.O. box.
Right. Which then will be a better way to send it, because then
Right.
I'll get it directly, as opposed to my manager collecting them all in a big box
Right.
and eventually delivering to me.
Also on the blog spot this week appeared a post from Jorge with the picture of Austin 51.
Yeah.
And I think you kind of set yourself up. If you haven't seen it, the title of the post was "This is gonna blow your mind."
Yeah.
And then so many people were like, "What? Why is my mind blown?" Because we already knew that she was crossed off. But
They never saw it.
They never saw it.
They never saw it.
They never saw that Pace was underneath
They
it.
never saw that either.
And they also don't know that was actually, when we did, I think it was 605 or 604, whatever one where Sawyer goes to the cave. Mm-hmm. In the script, it talked about Kate Austin 51, and we talked about it a lot, and we had to edit a lot of that out of the podcast because that was originally in the script, and then they took it out. They didn't show her
I had
name.
this whole idea of if her number 51 was there, does 4, 8, 15, 16, 23, 42, is 51 the next number in this sequence in some further thing? Somehow
Right.
You had to flesh it out further.
Right.
We had all kinds of theories about it
Yeah, but
that we had to cut out.
we had to cut a lot out, yeah.
Actually, that shot of Austin 51 was technically in the cave that the mother from this episode
Yeah.
was in. They were building her cave interior, and so they were using some of the same cave, and then they kind of changed the texture and the way the walls of the caves were, but they kind of just carved down, I think, or they painted over some of that cave to make this cave.
Oh.
It's a little bit of, recycling sustainability.
Yeah. What else? Oh, this week we got a lot of emails. There was some theory or some thread or something online that was did Hurley really want Kate to die last week? Because he really didn't look very hard for that first aid kit because people saw it above Fahey's head.
Whatever.
In the control room of the sub, and it was so blatant too. It was first aid kit.
Yeah,
So,
well, Fahey was nowhere near where we were, and on top of that, we had a small hallway and one room to work in. So
yeah.
I don't know how exactly they were planning on me. I knew I wasn't going to find the first aid kit. I didn't know the first aid kit was going to be over behind Fahey when they would cut to him. That was not. I don't think that was in the script.
Yeah, I don't think it was either.
Yeah, so...
the whole point was Jack needed to look into the bag and see that the C4 was in there.
Yeah.
So
And,
if he had the first aid kit, then that wouldn't have happened.
And those of you who think Hurley wanted Kate to die, how dare you? How dare you?
Listener emails.
All right. Chuck Ritchie. Do you think working on a show like Lost, where you only find out what's going on with your character shortly before you shoot the episode, has made you a bigger fan of the show than you might have otherwise been?
Because you're
Well, 'cause I'm in the
because
dark?
it's as mysterious as to us as it is to others.
I don't know. I'm hoping I'd end up being a fan of anything I was involved in.
Yeah.
Because it would kind of suck going to work if you didn't like what you were doing. So I don't know.
Our good friend Drew Lynn from Oak Park, Illinois asks, do any of the other cast or crew members listen to the podcast? Or does anyone ever ask you to about it on set?
Daniel heard at least.
Daniel listens to it.
He's listened to it.
Yeah. And there was definitely other crew members who talked about it, but I know a lot of people have asked, like, do Damon and Carlton know about it and stuff like that, and we have no idea. I mean, we've never discussed it with them or Matthew Fox.
Right.
Or, I mean,
Maybe
Ken knows about it, Evie knows about it, other people know about it that you might hear at some point.
Yeah, maybe we'll talk about it after everything's done. It's just we've been too scared to get shut down that we didn't really want to spread the news too much. But it's definitely been mentioned in a lot of press I've done, and I know that a lot of the Lost press goes by their desks just so they can see and just keep track of stuff.
Yeah.
So I think they probably know it exists, but so far, no harm, no foul. Dave Thompson, I was wondering if you could give us some insight into how death, like Jin, Sun, and Saeed, is dealt with on set by actors who play those characters, even by other actors. Do people mourn on set? Are there send-off parties or anything? Sure, we do send-off parties sometimes. Some people want to leave quietly. I know Dom wanted to leave quietly. He didn't want any kind of
we didn't do anything.
party or nothing, but had some karaoke when Nikki and Paolo died. When Elizabeth was going to detonate the bomb, we came on her last day and brought some
champagne,
pink champagne, and just kind of bid her a fond farewell.
Yeah, that was really nice.
So we try and do things like that. It's not easy when people die on the show. Over the course of the show, it's because they would end up moving away. It wasn't like if we all lived in California and we shot a show somewhere in Los Angeles, that we could still drive 20 minutes and go have lunch with them. So, it was kind of a bigger deal when death would hit us on the show. I wouldn't say we mourned them necessarily.
And I think now this season, it doesn't really matter if you die on the island because, Daniel and Yunjin died, and then we saw Daniel at the hospital.
Yeah, or
now they're still working on the show. We didn't have send off when Jin and Sun and Saeed and Lapidus died. We didn't have send off party.
Yeah, or when Zuleika.
Oh, we did.
We knew Zuleika was dying.
And we did have a party, but then she was in the next script.
Yeah,
remember?
Yeah, exactly. She was already making arrangements, and then they're like. Then she finds out she is in the next script. But yeah, we did have a little dinner for Zuleika, and then she ended up being, not even leaving.
Yeah. You never know.
At that moment. So.
You never know.
We just, most of the sadness happens, in the week or two before when word starts spreading that we know it's coming in the next script.
Melissa from Kailua, Hawaii.
Oh, wow.
That's where we are from.
Did she drop this email off?
Yes, she came and dropped off the email at our house. Is it just me, or does the island switch from night to day to night to day in faster than normal lengths of time? A lot of people I've heard talking about this in the last few episodes, and I didn't see anything in the script that talked about it. As when I went back and looked, it's not like it said, and all of a sudden it's daytime, or all of a sudden it's night. When the when you guys leave Claire and Locke on the dock,
right,
and the sub leaves, and then they flash or they go back to Claire and Locke and it's
Right,
night.
right.
People were like, "What the heck? Why is it night all of a sudden?"
Well, what people don't realize about us on the island is we like to sleep in. And most of the stuff that you see us doing happens in the late afternoon. So it's, the sun's going down any minute now, and that's why it comes night so soon. And it's also in the same way we stay out all night, which is why when Jack and Locke were talking to each other, sitting over there when we had joined their camp, it would end up being morning in no time. Plus, it probably skipped some, juicy parts still.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that, at least in the script, I don't think that there's anything that's, says that it's like, oh, what does that mean? That mean, there's no special reason for it.
All right, that's it. There you go. This is the show.
See you on the other side. Welcome back to Geronimo Jack's Beard, episode 615, Across the Sea.
You almost said that number.
What number?
6.
6. The devil.
That's like a Smeagol voice.
Okay.
You want to use the script?
Yeah, but don't you want to go through the cast list?
I will.
Would you like to do?
I will.
Who's your favorite?
By the way, I noticed something that I don't think I've noticed up until now. When I get a new script, I put it in a binder because it's easier for me to read. I like to be able to flip the pages. But I noticed that one of my binders is white, the other binder is black. And I've always alternated back and forth.
But the one for this episode is white.
This is a white one currently. And it's always been just what the other one is.
Cast list. Ooh.
Very excited when I saw on the cast list that Allison Janney was going to play the part of Mother.
Yep. Jorge was like a giddy schoolboy.
I totally was a fanboy at work the other day because I wanted to get a picture taken with her. I wasn't even working.
Creepily hung outside the studio
Luckily,
when Jorge didn't even have to work, waiting for Allison to come out from her shoot.
Yeah, luckily it was good. It was the day she shot the episode where she hits her with a rock.
Including the picture of the umbilical cord.
Oh, yeah.
That was gross.
I accidentally broke one of the umbilical cords.
Yeah, they had these fake babies and fake umbilical cords ready to be used when Claudia gives birth. And the umbilical cord was like...
this flimsy rubber
candy.
Gelatin.
Yeah, it was weird, and Jorge broke it. And there's a picture of that also on the blog. Or there will be. And I knew... I mean, I guess I had read the script, so I knew. But that day when we went to meet Allison, when we went into the makeup trailer, I saw on the corkboard there was a receipt for like 5 jars of Smucker's jam. Yeah. And so I was like, oh, a baby is going to be born today.
Yeah.
If you see Smucker's jam on set, you know, and especially if you see the receipt in the makeup trailer, you know that they're going to be smearing it all over a real baby. And a fake baby.
That baby slime is grape jelly.
Is that what's inside of me?
Yeah, it's
grape
jelly? Grape jelly. Yeah.
Awesome! I can't wait to have a baby. I'll be like, oh, I want to hold my baby now. Lick. Give it to me. No, we're gonna clean it up. No, don't clean it up. Don't clean it. Lick, lick, lick.
Why can't my baby be made out of peanut butter?
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Returning, obviously, would be Mark Pellegrino and Titus Welliver.
Yeah.
As the Man in Black. Still unnamed.
Yep. And when we were there that day, his trailer said MIB. It's a Jacob trailer and MIB trailer.
Right.
Yeah, so he doesn't have a name.
There's and the teenage boy in white, and boy in black as well. Kenton Duty is back. And then Ryan Bradford is the boy in black. And we also met Layla Lauren.
Yes,
who is Claudia.
Yes, she's a very beautiful woman. I thought Claudia when we first saw her on the first page, or when we first read her on the first page, it felt like Rousseau.
Oh.
She has a Rousseau feel. Her ship.
She
was
has
wrecked.
especially young Rousseau,
Yeah,
for
that's
sure.
what I mean. No,
Yeah,
not
yeah,
old
yeah.
Rousseau. No, young Rousseau, French. Young. You stole my
Very
baby.
similar. Very similar.
She's very, very similar. Pregnant, shipwreck.
I was wondering, because this thing of her floating in the water was shot later. I was actually shooting something else that day, and then I saw that they had this water unit with basically on a raft a bunch of wood, just so she could be floating on, basically. That she was coming out to, after we were done with our work, she was going to go shoot her work.
Oh, that's cool.
So it says she's very pregnant.
Right.
So immediately I'm thinking twins, obviously, and like everyone else.
You were? When it said very pregnant?
Yeah, very pregnant usually means
Oh, I think very
twins.
pregnant is like she's about to pop any minute. That's what I think of.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like you can
very
see, like,
pregnant, like...
little feet.
Ew. God. No. Ew, like in the Frighteners when the hands and face come through the wall, it's like coming through her skin and her stomach. No, like I think very pregnant means... Like Claire was very pregnant.
No.
She was a month away from popping.
No, because this girl's, I think this... No, I thought it meant like, there's more than one baby in there.
Oh.
Kind of like when Kate Gosselin in the opening credits of Johnny Cage when she flips over.
God, her torpedo stomach. It does. It looks like a freaking torpedo. Dude, oh my god. Okay, so yeah, she's obviously got twins because we see them be born, and it's the man in black. Or
Yes.
the baby in black and the baby in white.
Yes.
There's a part in that I didn't really understand and maybe you can enlighten me. On page 3, it says, mother and the pregnant woman are talking to each other, and it's all in Latin, and then it says, and as she says it in Latin, we push in on mother and do the infamous Hunt for Red October language swap. And from here on in, we hear them speak in English.
Yes.
What is, so that first happened in Hunt for, I mean, I saw Hunt for Red October, but it was only because I had a major crush on Tim Curry at the time, and I was only looking for his parts. So I never...
He was in that movie? I haven't seen Hunt for Red October.
Yeah, I think he had, like, maybe 4 lines or something.
I want to see it, just
I loved
because
him.
I really like Alec Baldwin and Sean Connery, and I've just never seen that movie.
Oh, you haven't? So you don't
No.
understand what that means either?
Well, I know what it means, though, because we've done it before.
Oh. So what is it? So they go tight in on the person's face?
Mouth, usually.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so weird.
Well, they did it with
Oh, Saeed.
Saeed in his first episode. It's like he's got a few lines
Yeah.
he learned to say, and then they go in.
Interesting.
Actually, when they were shooting that, we were there, and the Latin professor was there behind us. Who's the guy who does Latin translation?
Oh, that's the guy
And
who was
he's-
on set that day,
Yeah,
right?
and he's listening to make and he'll like give the nod to the script supervisor that they're doing it right.
He was there. And the woman in the umbilical cord picture with me is the woman who takes care of babies on set.
Yeah.
Because she was with Aaron a lot. The
Yeah.
Aaron babies.
By the way, the Latin professor is probably the perfect. Like, if you imagine what a Latin professor would be like,
He looks exactly like a Latin
that, or
professor.
if he was here to see how good we did our French as well, because
Oh,
he kind
yeah.
of had one of those thin mustaches
Mustache.
that you associate with French stereotypes.
And smart people.
They go to the caves. She's alone. So this time they rebuilt the caves yet again. This time in the studio.
Yeah.
As
Which was
opposed to the
cool.
other part of the studio. And these caves, I thought they did really nicely.
Yeah.
They look really cool. Again, it doesn't have the height that the original caves did, because there's this whole, like, high area there.
Oh.
But they are pretty cool. I like this whole I only picked one name thing.
I don't like that.
Oh,
I don't.
I don't like it
And
either.
I wrote a no, you do like it. I wrote an
No, I don't.
We
No,
don't
I don't
we don't
like it
agree
now.
on much at all. So, but I don't like it, and I wrote a note saying, why couldn't she just come up with another name? And is this the
On the
writers?
spot?
The writers did this on purpose because everyone is speculating his name, and they want to continue to like, we're still not gonna give you a name.
I think
That's
it's
how I feel.
great. I love that, he's been unnamed up till now, and you realize, you know what? He's been unnamed for a long time. Claudia's having the baby, and it says that, like, Mother's like really excited about it. She's like really interested. The baby's delivered, and then, holy crap, she hits her with a rock.
I know. She later says to the boys when they're like 13 or whatever, she says, she's talking about why she didn't let the boys know about these other people, right?
Oh, you're skipping a bit there?
Yeah, just because you're talking about when she murdered Claudia, right?
Yeah.
She says they fight. She says the same thing that Man in Black does in season 5. They
Right.
come, they fight, they destroy.
Right.
She says people will hurt you, they're bad. Basically saying, like, these men are just regular people and they're evil or whatever.
Right.
She's a murderer. Who is she to talk? How is that not evil?
Well,
She thinks she's doing good by protecting these little babies? No, she murdered someone. A young, innocent, pretty girl.
so is it because she's pretty? Is that what your problem
Yes,
is?
I have an infatuation with Claudia, Layla, whatever her
Says,
name.
I mean, if she was an ugly woman, maybe that'd be okay.
No,
But because she's pretty,
she was so beautiful. No, I'm just saying, this was a young, innocent girl. She killed her
yes,
to steal her babies.
yes.
So how is that not hurting people? She says, these people hurt. These people are bad.
But
these
it
people
was
fight.
one
these people
hit with the
destroy.
rock. She probably wasn't in that much pain at all.
Baloney.
She was in more pain
Baloney.
from the pregnancy
You're just
than
sticking
having
up
her
for
brains caved
her
in.
because it's Alice and Jenny.
I'm saying
You love her.
is that like the others who believed that they were the good guys.
Right.
It's the same situation.
Exactly.
It's all from
I get
point of perspective.
Right.
And
But she murdered.
she has a job right now to protect the light in the crevice.
Ew.
Well, she has two jobs really. One is to protect the light in the crevice, and two is to find the person who will take that job when she can no longer perform that
But
job.
here's my deal. Why couldn't she, instead of killing Claudia, she gives birth to the babies, she befriends Claudia, she tells Claudia about this, and she says, hey, you or one of your kids is going to have to take over this. Why did she have to kill her?
Because
it's because she wanted
Claudia-
kids. It's because she wanted kids. She wanted the company.
Claudia can't find out about the light in the crevice.
Why?
Because she is another type of
So she's not
human.
pure.
Hell, she just had two babies out of wedlock, for God's sake.
How do you know it was out of wedlock?
Where's those boys' father?
He's probably dead in the ocean. He probably got eaten by a shark.
Maybe Claudia killed
Probably
him.
by
Maybe she
Jabberjaw.
killed him.
How does Bib, as we're gonna now call him, how does Bib just know things? That's said several times throughout the script. I just know. Is there a reason? Is there a reason that he just knows?
You mean he just kind of knows how to play the game?
he says, I just know that this is how you play the game. And then Man in Black Titus later says, I just know about the electromagnetism in the well and everything. So, but what's the point of that? He just knows why.
Yeah.
Because he's special, but why? I mean, there's things that are answered, but but this show answers questions, but they answer them in a way that makes you ask another question. It's like, here's the answer. Oh, okay. Wait a minute. What? That's how this show answers questions.
Okay.
Because I'll be honest with you. The first time I read this script, about when did we get this? A week and a half ago? 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Remember how upset I was after reading it?
Yeah, you hated it.
I was pissed.
I loved it because it was almost like we're gonna tell you a story.
Yeah.
And that's why I liked it.
And it's great.
And I'm not in it, so I don't. So I just kind of just sit there and I just kind of let it take me to this other world on the island before everything, and just kind of followed along. You're so paranoid about this thing.
I don't know why.
Don't worry, it's recording.
No, but I was really upset. Like, the way I'm looking at it, every time a script is delivered now, I'm so excited now that it's getting towards the end because I'm going, okay, good, we're gonna get some resolution. And I felt like this script told a lot and a lot of the past, but it also brought up a lot of questions. Like, to me, a huge question is, and I know that if this question's answered, then there'd be another one and there'd be another one, but how did Mother get there? If she's telling Jacob and Boy in Black in the beginning that, oh, there is nothing else, it's just this island, this is it. That's it. There's nothing across the sea. She's obviously lying. She came from somewhere. It's not like we haven't seen anything, even though there's biblical, like traces of biblical things throughout these scripts. We haven't seen anything that's like the island was made by God.
You want a creation myth?
I just want concrete, easy answers to these questions.
Okay.
Answers that don't create other questions or don't create where you have to really like sit down. Like, okay, like I said, I was upset by reading this for the first read through because I was like, this is 6:15 and there's 2 more left, and
yes.
That's it. That's all you gave us was Adam and Eve, who they are. But what does that mean? But then I reread it and I took notes and I sat down and actually gave it thought and thought about it, and I like it a lot more now.
I think it's great.
It is great. It is.
You're not going to get an ultimate origin of the island.
Why? That is the purpose of the show.
There's no time. It's like this.
Then
okay,
they should have written another season. Then there should be 7 seasons, or there should have been 24 episodes.
I'll give it
this
to
season.
you. You ready? It's one of 2 things.
What? You tell me.
The Big Bang happened. Some years later, the island is there. Or
Okay, I get the Big Bang and the Earth.
creation happened. Some years later, the island is there. Or a combination of both. Picking up on the island, Allison Janney's there.
Yeah.
And other people.
And how'd she get there? And why is she alone?
So you want another episode where Allison Janney's mom is pregnant, floating on some sticks.
Yes.
And then someone hits her with a rock.
Yes.
And then you're like, where'd that lady come from?
Exactly. Then that's what I'm saying.
It's
needs
a
to
vicious cycle.
No, but what I'm saying is, like you said, there needs to be some sort of birth of the island.
Okay.
The light of the island.
So you want like a real Adam and Eve
I want
to have babies.
Yep.
And then their babies have babies.
Yeah.
And so on and so
And
on.
I'm not saying you
until
have to
one of
take-
them gets to the island to begin with.
You don't have to take an entire script to even do that. Allison Janney could have just explained that to Claudia if she hadn't killed her. This script
Wait.
could have been if she wasn't a murderer, and she
What
had
if-
said, "Sit down, Claudia. Let me tell you this story. Da-da-da, da-da-da, da-da. This is how I got here. This is the light. This is that. You guys need to protect it." And she slits her own throat or something.
But she doesn't know Claudia's worthy of protecting it.
Well,
But babies,
I think she is.
she can
she's
mold.
So hot.
She can mold. She can mold the babies to anything she wants to.
Right, I get that, and that's what I said earlier. Is
Except-
that they're pure.
Except they still have their own nature.
Right. Well, one of them does.
But she can nurture
Because Jacob
the
is
babies.
really moldable. He's kind
She
of
can
dumb.
nurture the babies to a point.
Jacob is so. When I was like, man, Jacob was a dumb little dummy when he was a kid. As far as reading the script, I was like,
yeah, he
he's
was.
just
He was
like,
a little bit of a himbo.
"Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo."
Yeah,
Okay, let's
yeah.
do this.
He was kind of a himbo, a little easy. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying about the Bib character. That I'm like, I'm excited to see him kind of be the powerful one. Like I've said before, I side with power, whether
Right,
they're 13,
exactly.
43, or however old.
Um.
All right, so Mother doesn't age because we later see Jacob and Boy in Black as when they're
Okay,
13.
I know.
Okay.
But can I back up a little bit before we
Yeah.
get to Mother Doesn't Age?
Yeah.
We're still the whole when you brought up the boy just knows. We're talking about the game. It's when
Oh, right. I forgot about that.
where it shows up. So the game is a game called Senate.
Okay. Does it say
Which-
that in the script?
Yes.
Okay.
Which may be essentially a precursor to
Backgammon.
backgammon,
Right.
which was introduced in the pilot.
Yes.
And I like how I kind of liked how the boy just kind of knew how to play somehow.
Maybe he's reincarnated and that's how he just knows stuff.
Maybe.
Who is
But
he?
I saw you wrote Eden there. Did you bring
Let's
up
get
Eden?
into that later. That's my notes.
'Cause I was thinking about
Get
that
out
too.
of my notepad. Get off my notebook.
Okay.
Of course you were thinking that. That's a main thing later. But yeah, maybe he just knows because he's learned it in a past life or a future life.
I don't know.
He's reincarnated. That's my crackpot theory. That's my
Okay.
Jack
I got
crackpot theory.
I got a crackpot theory coming up.
Okay.
Just wait.
Okay, let me just say this. So
Mother Doesn't Age.
Mother doesn't age, right? And we later see that she doesn't age. We later see I know I'm skipping ahead, but this is, when we talk about stuff, we gotta talk about it like this. Jacob drinks the stuff from the thing, and she says, "You're like me now." Later.
Right.
So when you drink the stuff, you become ageless. You don't age, right? I'm
Right.
assuming. So did Alpert drink the stuff? Because he said Jacob touched me.
It also
So
said
does
he
Jacob-
gave him a gift.
Right. So when he says, "Did he touch me?" Is it just Jacob has the healing power to just touch?
Wait,
like he
because
touched Locke?
Jacob gave
'Cause
him a gift back in Abaterno, right?
Yes.
But they didn't drink any water.
They didn't do anything, right?
They just gave it to him, right?
What did he give him? I don't remember that.
Well, we're assuming the gift is him not aging, right?
Yes, but you're saying he just gave it to him. Did they show in Ab Eternal, did they show him giving him something? Or touching? Remember when he touched Locke and Locke came back to life? That's what I thought it would be with Alpert, was that he just kind of touched his
Were
heart.
there
or
scenes?
his-
I forgot
touched his heart.
if there were scenes
Or
with
his
Jacob.
brain.
Yeah, there's no there's no
So-
drinking for some reason. So,
So I'm wondering if Richard has gone to this light
yeah,
waterfall.
unless that was part of it that we didn't see, right?
Because here's my point.
Because it hadn't
If
been
Richard-
written yet.
Because if Richard has gone to this light waterfall and that's how you don't age,
Yeah.
and he's drank from it, how would Richard not know the plan and the candidates and all that? The point of protecting the island. There's no way. To me, it's like if
What if he doesn't necessarily have to go? He just has to drink that water. What if Jacob can bring the water to him without showing him where the thing is?
maybe,
Perhaps.
or maybe he can just touch Richard like he touched Locke to bring him back to life.
Maybe once you're.
What
you
if?
know, once you have
what
the
if?
powers.
What if Boy in Black, like I said, was reincarnated from Locke from the future? So Locke died, and then he was reincarnated into the past, into Boy in Black. And that's how he just knows things, because Locke played backgammon in the first season. And Locke knew about the electromagnetism because of he was on the island.
Kind of like Terminator.
Ooh, it's good. It's good.
I noticed
I got a good brain.
Mother clearly has a favorite child.
Yes.
Because it says when she sees Jacob show up, her smile dims
Yeah,
when she
she's
sees
like,
he's alone.
Oh.
Hey,
you.
boy! Oh,
Oh, it's
oh,
you.
Oh, hey.
The dummy.
What's your brother doing?
Hey, dummy. Well, she. Okay, there's a part where Bib says he told you what I found, right? And she's like, they're having that conversation, I think,
Right.
and she says, Jacob doesn't know how to lie.
He's
So-
not like you.
Yeah, so
Evil.
he
He's not
exactly.
evil like
so
you.
So Bib was born.
You're special.
No, he already knew how
being
to lie.
evil.
Right. Jacob is malleable.
Yeah.
And so that's why Bib is a lot stronger and more awesome.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about more awesome.
He is.
And then she says, "Oh, that's why I left it for you."
Right, but that's a lie. Because she's just covering up. Because I think in the script it says...
This water smells and tastes like vanilla.
Because I have vanilla lip gloss on.
Oh.
I mean vanilla,
What are you looking for? Page 11?
Oh, yeah, page 11. So it says, Boy in Black says, "Can I keep the game?" "Of course. That's why I left it for you." And then it says, "Wait a minute." In the script direction, it says, "Wait a minute. Is that true?" And then he says, "It came from you?" "Of course. Where else would it come from?" She's saying that because she's covering
She's
up.
covering.
She doesn't want them to know that there's other peeps out there.
I agree.
Oh, there's also when she says,
She's kind of just like taking credit, like when someone, someone gives a gift
Yeah.
in front of you, goes, "Oh yeah, that's from all of us, by the way." I'm just gonna see if I can get my name on that card.
one of the kids, I don't know who, it's either Boy in Black or Jacob, says, "What's dead?" And she says, "Something you'll never have to worry about."
Yeah. Who'd she
Well,
say that
obviously
to?
he dies, so it's not never. You never say never. Because
Well,
he died.
Well,
Jacob's dead.
It's because she said it.
And so did Man in Black, sort of, or whatever his weirdo thing happened, because his body's dead.
She says something you never have to worry about actually to the boy in black, not to Jacob. And so far, there's no, it's truthful.
Well, but his body, but he did die. We see his body, but he obviously turned into this creature thing.
Right. But
We can get into that later, because
maybe he
that's
didn't-
later.
Yeah. And it's also part, I guess, was her plan was to give the island to the boy in black, it seemed like. And then
Right.
be like, "Oh, well,
Well, he's gone, so...
I guess it's yours, Jacob."
Yeah, I don't... But my thing is, I don't understand why she would favor Boy in Black if her whole thing is about she's against bad people and selfishness and all the things that men are, why would she favor Boy in Black, who knows how to lie and knows how to be evil?
Well, she's a woman in black.
But why?
Why?
Yeah.
Because she knows that sometimes you're going to have to break a few eggs if you're going to make an omelet.
Right.
You're going to have to break a few skulls.
She dies. She's
Yes.
murdered.
Yes.
So if she can make it so that Man in Black never has to worry about death, why wouldn't she make it so that she obviously is anti-aging, so but she can be killed like Jacob could. So she's not Man in Black or Woman in Black.
When those guys showed up, I was like, what?
The
Who are
Hunters.
these three men? It was kind of like the first time we found out that we weren't alone on the island kind of thing.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Yeah, it's the same thing. And they actually, in the script, I wanted to read this, it says, the booted feet of three men appear right in front of them. They lay in the foliage, silent and scared to effing death as the feet pass by. And then in parentheses it says, and it's intentionally reminiscent of the shots of our castaways watching the feet of the others pass by in episode 205.
Right, when the bear goes by. The mom says, I've made it so you can never hurt each other.
How does she... So she has all these different kinds of powers. She has anti-aging power. She has you can't hurt your brother power. She has you're not going to die power. Now, this all comes from the drinking of the cup? Or what?
No, I think the live forever comes from the drinking of the
The
cup.
chalice. You chose
Yeah.
poorly.
Yeah, what was that
He
water?
chose
Maybe
poorly.
it's the last crusade water.
It is. Waterfall, white light, gotta protect that, protect the island, security
So-
system for them. I don't know.
She said it made so you can't hurt each other. Is that why they can't hurt each other? Because the mom made it so?
Yeah, I would think so. How else would that happen?
So that's, and
That's
it
the
says,
rules.
I want to kill you, but I can't, but
Right.
I found a loophole.
Right.
It's done through the fact, because mom set this
And it's
up.
not even their mom. Some other lady who's a murderer.
Because ma'am.
From the West Wing. Okay, this is where I started to get confused. She's talking about, she brings him to the light. The waterfall.
By the way, I'm really curious to see where this is.
Oh, yeah.
Because it says it's a place we've never seen before.
Right. Well, it's going to be studio, I'm sure. With the waterfall, they're going to have to recreate all that?
It's a lot of work to build a waterfall in the studio.
Hey, man, those guys do amazing
No,
stuff.
but
They
I know
built
they
an
did.
airplane.
I mean, I know there's definitely part of exteriors. I don't know how much that's in a waterfall because it's not inside a cave. It takes place outside.
Yeah.
No, there's a place. I know they went to a place to shoot it.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
What is it? Makaha? Is it over on the other side where
Place
the
we've
foot
never
was?
been to.
Okay, so men have a little bit of this in them, but they always want more.
Right.
When she shows it to them. What is it? Is it youth? Is it healing? Is it luck? Is it life? What is it? If the light goes out here, it goes out everywhere. What the heck is it?
I don't know.
So, and I think when I first read it, that's why I was pissed off, is because it's like, what is it? I wish she would have just said,
what if it's
this
like
light
the
is...
apple in the Garden of Eden?
Well, I have notes here that there's Adam and... Obviously, they're referred to as Adam and Eve later, and you go into the Garden of Eden.
And the water is the apple.
When you...
So it's... What was the apple? The tree of knowledge of
tree.
good and evil? And that people want more of that knowledge, or what?
Yeah, but
I don't think we need to know exactly what that is, but it's special.
how would we not want to know exactly what that is when that's what the whole dang show has been centered around?
Because we're probably not going to find out.
And that right there is what makes me want to puke all over myself, is that the whole show is based off of this light. The whole reason the plane crashed is because of this light. Somebody on this plane has to protect this light. What is the light? We're not going to tell you.
What was the thing?
That's lame.
What was the thing that Richard Alpert says in the episode that just aired? I've spent my entire
no,
life.
I'm not a cyborg.
No, when he says, I spent my entire life
in
following someone
right.
because I believed he had a plan.
Right. And he obviously did have a plan.
It's kind of what being a cast member on this show feels like.
It is. That's what it is. Being a cast member is like being Richard Alpert.
Yeah, that's
And
exactly.
Jacob, Damon and
We
Carlton
stay the same
are
age.
Jacob.
We stay the same age. And
It is. That's very, you know what? That's brilliant. Eve says, Eve elaborates on the commandment not to eat its fruit. She says that if she touches the fruit, she will die. The serpent responds that she will not die. Rather, she and her husband would be as gods, knowing good and evil.
Yeah.
So is that what happened to Man in Black when he fell in? Because remember, the mother says, no, if you fell in there, it wouldn't be death. It'd be worse than death. And then we see what happens. He turned into a dang monster. But how is that worse, man? If I knew I could fall into a beautiful well and come out as a almighty, powerful monster, I totally would jump in.
Well, you would. I mean, it's like it'd be worse than death for the boy in black, because the boy in black has desires to travel.
Oh, so then he's stuck? But he was stuck on the island before he even got pushed in.
Because if he gets wet,
Right.
his smoke will go out.
I mean, this episode obviously has something to do with the Garden of Eden and the whole Adam and Eve taking a bite of the apple, and then, I mean, it does, and the light and everything. I mean, I just wish they could have answered. I wish Alice and Janney could have just said, "This is the light." When she said that,
she doesn't know what it is.
This is the light in them. They always want
Alice
more.
and Janney
This
called
is what we
the
have
writers for information. They didn't give them to them.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh.
She was like, I don't understand some of this. And they're like, yeah,
Sorry.
just go with it.
I gotta,
And I was like, yeah, that's kind of what this show is like.
Yeah, even if you're even guest stars or the regular stars of the show don't get the answers.
Okay. So I have my crackpot theory now. And it came from the fact that there's a moment in the second act, it says, where the boy in black tells Jacob he can't do that. He says, why not? Because it's against the rules. It's not fair. You made the rules. And then boy in black says, I found it. One day, you can make up your own game, and everyone will have to play by your rules. So it's Jacob's rules are the things like, you can't kill him, like who you're like you can't kill any of the candidates. Those are Jacob's rules. And just for some reason, the man in black has to abide by these rules. It's almost like the bet that the two old dudes do in Trading Places.
Right.
For only $1.
Right,
it's
right.
like just a gentleman's bet.
It is like that.
It's like, all right, here are the rules we're going to go by. And because we're all powerful, we treat this as a game.
So you think...
So my theory about what the island is, it's a giant board game.
You just want that to be because you love board games. We have like 50 of them sitting right over there right now. There is a key word, though, in that sentence that you just read from the script. And the key word is everyone. Because he doesn't say, one day you can think up a game and I'll have to play by your rules. Because so far, Jacob's played by Boy in Black's rules for this little game that they found.
Yeah.
He says everyone will play by your rules. Everyone meaning you guys.
Well, it's everyone who's playing.
Yeah. It's everyone. Everyone who's...
On the planet?
No, not on the planet necessarily, but everybody that he's been choosing and writing their names all over these caves and stuff.
Maybe. I mean, he's still a boy in this scene, but sure.
Yeah, I get that. But all I'm saying is that Boy in Black is all-knowing.
Okay.
He's the man.
And then Claudius shows up again.
Or the boy.
And you're like, what? Claudius shows up.
Right.
And then you realize only the boy in black can see him.
See her.
See her. Oh, that was another crackpot theory that Claudia was a man.
No way. Yeah, Boy in Black can only see...
Not her brother can't see her.
I know what it is now.
What?
Instead of Locke, he's reincarnated from you from the future.
Yeah. Well, when I saw that, I was like, what if I'm going to be the new Man in Black?
Oh. But you can't, because Man in Black was born evil. Or he was born normal. I don't want to call him evil anymore because he was born, he was born knowing how to lie. Everybody lies.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's born human. Jacob, was born human but kind of weird. And so you don't have the ability, I don't think, to be evil. Or
I'm just
human.
thinking, because I can see dead people when no one else can see dead people.
I know.
It's a lot like Men in Black.
Well, it is. I know. The fact that you can do... You know what? And that is a Harry Potter reference, because Harry Potter, when he's at school, he speaks parcel tongue. And And everyone is like, oh my god, he speaks parcel tongue. That's not good. You know why? Because you know who spoke parcel tongue? Voldemort.
He has parcel tongue syndrome.
No, but that's what I'm saying is like you see dead people, Man in Black saw dead people.
Disease.
So it's like maybe it's a bad thing that you see dead people because
it's parcel
Man
tongue,
in Black did.
Is parcel tongue like you open your mouth and like a package comes out?
No, shut up. It's not it's PARS, not PARC. Parcel tongue is like
No, the snake talking. Oh, it's snake talking?
yeah, it's you speak to snakes. That's what it is.
Oh.
Oh my god.
Oh, I just spoke parcel tongue for a second.
You did.
So
You're evil.
so the village. It's kind of like the Jungle Book scene when Mowgli first sees the man village.
Oh yeah.
And they're like, what?
What is this?
What? And then there's like
A moment of like.
there's like a hot chick going to get water, and he's like going, whoa, I'm gonna have to go join the man village and start lighting fires and doing man things.
It's always women that are, you know.
Yeah, it's always women that drive men
That
to
intrigue
start
them
wanting to like punch stuff
set fire
in
to
a rough
things.
house.
I felt bad for Man in Black. I started to really feel sad for him because
Yeah, me too.
You know, he's like, I just want to see where I came from. I just want to go home. And when he said it, however many episodes ago when we first were introduced to Man in Black, it was like, what does that mean? That's weird, and he's still evil. But now it's like, dude, he was screwed over, man. The Allison Janney killed his mom, took him away from everything that he would have known for no reason, because we still don't know what the light is. So it's like, just let him go.
And then
He's obviously not the one who's going to watch the thing, so why can't he just leave? Why can't he leave the island? It's not fair.
maybe and then the big reveal that she's like, I'm your mother.
Yeah.
Luke, I'm your mother. I'm trying to get some Star Wars in this one to fight your Harry Potter.
Ah.
This is why the others steal children.
Why?
So that they stay good.
Yeah. You mentioned that earlier, didn't you?
So they're not, you know, to keep them good, keep them
What the heck was that?
keep them moving towards
That
the
sounded
light.
like a velociraptor.
I don't know. I felt like maybe a cat got really pissed at another cat or something.
Oh. Yeah, I get that, but so you think that the others? I don't think. Here's the thing. I don't think the others, as we saw the others in the beginning of season 3 when we first were introduced to, there's this other houses and all these people. I don't think the others knew about the light.
No, the other others. Oh, no one knows about the light.
Right. Not even Richard, who apparently was touched by the light or whatever, right? Who
Right.
drank the light's water. So what are the others protecting? What do they think they're? I mean, they're dumb then if they're just like, oh, we're here to protect the island.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's kind of like
I mean, Jacob really didn't tell anybody.
we need. They probably have to constantly go through lists of people who might be potential Jacob replacements.
Who?
Jacob or Jacob's others.
Yeah, but but that's what I'm saying is Jacob hasn't told anyone
What?
about the light.
No, you're not
No.
allowed to know about it.
Right, I get that. So what I'm saying is all of these people think they're there in service to someone. It's like a false prophet. It's like Jonestown or something where this guy's like, this is the purpose. I don't know, I can't tell you the purpose, but drink this Kool-Aid or this is what we're supposed to do. And then people are just blindly following this dumb religion of Jacob.
Well, what they've seen as far as evidence of how great this island is and how important the work is there. So,
because they've been healed and stuff like that.
yeah, they know that the island has things, and they
Okay.
know it's
I guess
it's
that's
valuable, and that's enough.
That's true. Oh, so then the boy in black runs away to the other people, the hunters, just like Ben ran away to the others from the Dharma.
Yeah, there's the special knife effect using the magic knife that sticks to the rock.
Oh, right. And they say, and they say, read that part.
This one?
this. We may. I like
You
to
may
read.
recognize the dagger as the same one Dogen will give to Saeed 2 millennia from now.
Yeah.
Well, that gives us a timeline.
2 millennia.
2 millennia. Well, I also wrote, the men are bad, but they're his ticket off the island.
Okay, so it's 30 years later, and Man in Black is still with the hunter people. These people haven't been able to leave the island. That's what we're led to believe. Or did some of them leave? Some of them died. It's the same people that were there before.
But it said they're a village, right?
Yeah.
I think they just live there.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if they're.
So you think it's like the Dharma of the BC or whatever?
Maybe I don't know. I don't know if they're. I don't know. It didn't seem like they're trying so hard to leave the island. I mean, as far as I know.
True.
But maybe
so
they are just
Dharma.
either that or they are just stuck there.
They are the pre-Dharma because they're there digging, looking for the electromagnetism. So they're like the Dharma of this whatever this is, 20 AD. Not that there was a year in here, but was there a year? As far
At
as
the beginning?
Yeah.
I thought it was like 200.
No, it doesn't say. Long ago, ancient times. I thought it did, but
I thought they wrote something somewhere.
yeah, I thought so too, but
So the light that moves the island
I hate that donkey.
and the
wheel.
light that's released when the bomb goes off, you think that's the light from the crevice?
This is where this episode.
I think it's
frustrates
all
me.
the same light. It's also the light.
is.
The light is what does stuff.
I agree. It's the same light, but I am so anti frozen donkey wheel thing. I just think that was the dumbest thing ever written into the show. The fact that there's this wooden wheel that somebody built to do whatever, this magical. I just thought, are you kidding me?
What?
That's just.
Would you
dumb.
rather him
That's the sun went out. Oh, I'm gonna build a big light switch. Flip, and then it goes on.
Here's why you don't like the donkey wheel.
Holy crap! Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Was that an animal?
Did you hear that, audience?
It was like. Only like 10 of them.
I think you would have been happier if instead he wove a stick.
Huh?
Maybe said Expelliarmus or something.
Oh, you mean a wand?
It's like, so he does it with a wheel, kind of makes it mechanical, makes it kind of something that man creates, rather than something magic.
It just, to me,
That's where
that's
the
just
science and the
terrible. I
magic
just
comes
remember reading
together.
that script when it first happened. What was that, season 4 or whatever? And they were hiding it this whole time, and it was the season finale, and it's like, the thing that they've been hiding was Frozen Donkey Wheel, and I was like, what? Is that real? Is that just a name? Because they gave names to other things that they hid.
Right.
Yeah, I just don't like the idea of that. I mean, it's cool that they called back to it and that we see that Man in Black created it or whatever, but I don't understand. I don't understand how that works. I don't understand that he turns this wheel and then he's going to be able to leave the island. What is that? How does that work? Just like I know Ben turned it and Terry turned it and they left the island, but how does that work? I get that Man in Black just knows that it's going to work, but how does it work? Give us the
wheel?
answers. Yes. Give us the answers. That's what I want.
Well, the wheel was like he was trying to get.
So is the light electromagnetism?
The light.
Is that what the light is? Because when he throws the dagger and it sticks to the well or whatever, and the light, but then that's where the light or whatever was shining through that little piece or something?
I think the
while he was in-
electromagnetism is more a result of the light rather than exactly what the light is.
Because electromagnetism has healing powers, doesn't it? Magnets have healing powers. Like, people wear those bracelets that have magnets in them because it helps your blood, the iron in your blood. What? Why are you looking at me?
Okay, go on.
So,
Yeah, sure.
so that's where the healing power comes from, and that's what I mean, how close is the well to the light, to the waterfall?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out. So the purpose of the wheel is to change the course of that river, that well, right?
Right, that's what he says. He wants to change.
He basically wants to make it so that that water will reach the people.
Wait, no, I thought he says I'm going to open a hole when he's talking about the frozen donkey wheel, and then he says, and then I'll be able to leave.
He says, I'm going to open a hole, one much bigger than this one. I'm going to attach that wheel to a system that we're building. Trust me, it's going to be awesome. I got the plans over here. Mm-hmm. A system that channels the water and the light, so it changes the direction. And then I'm going to turn it. And when I do, I'll finally be able to leave this place.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
So maybe what you get from the water in the light is like the knowledge of how to get off the island.
No, because Ben.
You show up in Tunisia.
Ben has already. Yeah, you show up in Tunisia. So Man in Black is gonna go to Tunisia.
That's the part.
All right, let's move on because this is the kind of stuff that won't be answered. So the mother once again likes smashing people's heads with rocks or smashing people's heads into rocks or whatever, and she smashes Man in Black's head, and then she fills up the well with rocks and torches the town.
No,
she's
first
so good.
She says it's time to Jacob. Life, death, rebirth. It's the source. It's the heart of the island.
Right.
That water is.
Right.
That light water.
Right.
So it's almost like spirit is in there. It's like we all have spirit in us. We all would like more spirit, but we only have so much in this crevice, and we don't want it just getting around everybody.
Okay, so then she
passes the torch.
So then she before she does all that, she does the whole thing where she torches the town of hunters and she smashes Man in Black's head and she fills up the well with rocks.
Because she's the original Man in Black. It's hard.
And then she passes the torch to Jacob.
That's why
Jacob
she has such a big problem with the boy in black, because it's like looking in a mirror to her.
And then Jacob drinks the water, and then Man in Black is like pissed off, and he's like, I know who did this, and he comes and he kills her, and she says thank you when he kills her.
Yes.
Just like Albert wanted to die too.
And it's also
she's like, thank you, God. It's been so long. I've had to do this.
But it's also thematically very kind of like Greek mythology always follows, the sons always kill the father of the previous. It's like there were all the Titans, and then the king of the Titans was Cronus, or Saturn, right? And so he ate all his children because he knew that they were going to overthrow him at one point.
Okay.
And then his wife ends up giving him like a rock and a blanket to eat, and instead of giving him Zeus, and Zeus ends up killing him. So, I mean, it's kind of like that, too, in that type of story. I'm all you have.
Mom says that to Jacob?
Jacob says it to his mom.
Oh, right.
Says you wanted it to be him.
Just because I'm all you have.
But I'm all you have.
Right. And she's kind of like, yeah, you're right, but now I'm looking at it, and it's always been you.
You know what?
She's a liar, dude. I'm telling you,
you.
She's evil. She is murderer, torch of town, fill the well, knock your own fake son on the head with a rock or whatever she did, kill a pregnant lady. Dude, she's not nice. So the ending is Jacob pushes him into the thing. He turns into the smoke monster, comes out as the smoke monster, and then Jacob finds his body. Titus's body.
Yeah.
So my thing is, he takes Titus's body to the cave where Allison is. Allison and Titus are Adam and Eve.
Yeah.
But we still see Man in Black, the smoke, as Titus later, which was really earlier in season 5. So he took on he just went back into his own body. I mean, I know he's not using the body because the body's dead, but he just took on the form then of. So he could have taken on the form of Allison, but he decided to take on the form of his same self.
That really gets complicated. I don't really.
How does that get complicated?
I mean, sure. Okay, then yes, that's what happens. Was he smoke when he had that scene with Jacob? I assume he was.
He's got to be.
Right, because the other scene happens later. Then yes.
Well, I don't think he'd say, you know how badly I want to kill you, unless Jacob had pushed him, done something to him.
It had already happened. Yeah, that sounds right.
Okay. So basically, he killed him, but he didn't. Because he could still take in human form of his own self. Do you see what I'm saying? So my point is, like, when did Jacob wake up one morning and there's his brother again in the same body? Oh my God. He was a smoke man, and now he's back in that same body. But his body's right here next to me. Ah!
Well, maybe Jacob can see the dead.
But he can't because that was shown
Couldn't see his
with
mom.
Claudia.
Doesn't mean he can't see. I mean, it's possible that once he drank the Kool-Aid, he could. Oh, that's what I wanted to say. When I first saw the smoke coming out the village, or at least when I first read about it, I thought, is that going to be Smoke Monster already? Like, did he turn into Smoke Monster?
Yeah, that's what I thought, but that's not it.
Yeah, so the mother was passive when she got stabbed, just like Jacob was passive when he got stabbed.
Yeah, he's kind of like, oh, ow.
This I thought was kind of cool. When the man in black asked his mom, why wouldn't you let me leave? She said, it's because I love you. It was kind of like how Sawyer didn't want Juliet to leave because he didn't want to be alone.
When? Oh, after they got caught by Dharma or whatever? Or after they...
Yeah, when she wanted to get off, and he's like, I talked her into staying because I didn't want to be alone.
Right.
And then it says, this will all be over in 3 effing hours. We smashed to black. End of episode. 3 hours to go.
Okay, we just watched the episode in our Los Angeles hotel room.
Yes.
With our weird TV
it's hard.
in the mirror.
It's hard. It's like you can't, it's like watching the show.
Yeah.
Watching the show because there's a mirror in front of us and a mirror behind us. So.
Yeah, it's a really weird setup in this hotel room. So here's what I think.
One of the things is hard to watch this way where you can't back up and
Yes.
rewatch like we do when we watch it,
Right.
with our DVR in place.
Right. When I first read this script, I didn't like it because I felt like it didn't answer things the way I wanted it to.
Oh.
I felt like it didn't give me anything. I was like, what? I was kind of pissed off reading it. And then I read it again, and I really liked it. But I kind of have to admit, watching it, I feel the way I did when I first read it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I know, like...
What? So what? Your problem is that the answers you got aren't the answers you were hoping for.
The Adam and Eve thing was cool, except for them cutting back to the Losties.
Oh well, they've
like
been doing
Lock, Jack,
yeah,
and
but
Kate.
they've been doing that this whole.
I know, but
season.
that was so. It was like, do you think we're stupid? Like we know, we get it. We see the little sack with the white and the thing. Like we got it. And people would have gotten it. I think the whole Adam and Eve thing without them having to go back
agree.
and have
Yeah,
Locke say it.
Yeah, I thought that was a little on the nose myself.
Yeah, that's. But I just feel like. Not that it was boring, but it was just like I've been telling people this episode is going to be amazing, it's going to be great, and now I feel like, man, it needed something more, and it also I feel like the light thing didn't look anything like I thought it was going to. I didn't know it was going to be a little hole in the ground. I thought it was going to be like much more beautiful and waterfall-y, and you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
It didn't look like the way I thought it would. I don't know. It wasn't what I thought it was going to be.
Wow.
So.
You're really, yeah.
What?
This is probably the harshest I think you've been about an episode.
No.
Which one?
People say I complain all the time.
Oh, they do?
Yeah. People
Wow.
complain about me complaining. But hey, I mean,
I don't think
it's
I
good
caught
cop,
this-
bad cop.
I don't think I
I'm
caught
a
this
bad
when I read it originally, but I kind of got a chuckle out of the line where Allison Janney says, "Listen, every question I answer is going to lead to another question."
Yeah, that's how this episode was. And
I was like, "Is that Damon?
Is that mother? There is no other."
And they didn't quite do the mouth thing once you
The
started
Hunt for
speaking
Red October.
English. Yeah.
No, not at all. What other?
They just went, all right, we're switching to English.
I thought the little boy in black was really good.
Yeah.
And very cute. He was very mini Ian Somerhalder. Or Ethan. Wait, what's that guy's name? Not Ethan.
Oh. Zac Efron.
Zac Efron.
Yeah.
I don't know why I said Ethan. Ethan.
or mini guy on V who's on right now.
I love V.
The son on V.
Oh yes, the son on V, Elizabeth's son. Blue eyes, dark hair. Anyway, yeah. So I know, as we were watching the episode, I went on Lostpedia and saw that a lot of people kind of feel the same way I did. I mean, I'm not saying it was horrible. I'm not saying it was. I'm not even saying it was bad. I'm just saying it wasn't what people were expecting.
How he became the smoke monster.
Jacob and Man in Black are brothers.
He threw him in the hole, and the hole burned him up and turned him into smoke. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was kind of cheesy.
And
in the script, it seemed awesome. That's what I'm saying. Is there's something that I just was like, man, you know, I just.
Well, next time you need to make your own magic hole with light, I guess.
I need to make my own TV show. Fine.
I mean, they
I thought it was going to be tall waterfall. In my head, I pictured like a tall waterfall kind of thing, and then at the base of it, or that it was like, I don't know. It's not. I didn't think it was going to be like a hole in the ground like that.
Man, I wish we had the scripts here.
I know.
That we could actually look at.
I almost brought it, but then I was like,
and
that's dangerous.
Okay, this is exactly what it says. And how awesome was it having Allison Janney being on our show?
Yes. Jorge's crush, Allison Janney. He loves her.
She's awesome.
She was really good.
I think she's awesome.
She was really good. I thought everybody did a really good job. I do like Titus. I think he's good at being, obviously, now Man in Black gets a lot of sympathy.
Yeah, well, I think that's why this episode came here.
Yeah.
Right after he does, his most evil act, they show him as, he's kind of was a victim of circumstance.
Right. All right, everybody, don't forget that you can email us at geronimojackspirit@yahoo.com.
We have the blogspot, geronimojackspirit.blogspot.com, with all sorts of other links along the right-hand column for our Cafe Press stuff, and
Twitter,
our fan page at Facebook,
and the like we said at the beginning, the fan mail address and all that stuff. All the information is on the blogspot page. That's it. Have a good night.